Do you find your shoulders get painful and sore when you do exercises like the plank and the side plank? If so, watch this video to find out why and how to fix it. Coach E for Precision Movement here, and today I'm going to answer one of our ROM Coach subscribers' questions about planks and side planks, which is very common. And it's about getting pain in the shoulders, irritation, soreness when they're doing these exercises. Before I answer the question and give you the exercises to fix this issue for good, if you didn't know, I have an email newsletter where I send out these Ask Coach E episodes. And I just shot episode 3 of Ask Coach E where I answered 10 people's questions. So if you're interested in seeing this episode and perhaps asking a question, make sure you get on our email newsletter. And we'll post a link up here and down in the description below. So why do the shoulders get sore when you're doing planks and side planks? Well, the main reason that I've found is that technique-wise, let's say you're doing a side plank, what happens is the body sinks into the arm and the shoulder gets hiked up so that the shoulder goes up to the ear. And then they try to hold that side plank exercise for 10, 15, 20 seconds, and that just causes irritation, much like an impingement. It can irritate the rotator cuff, the bursa, and it can also irritate the AC joint because of that position. And people sometimes get neck irritation as well. So how do we fix that? Well, first of all, you've got to understand the proper technique for the side plank or the plank, and that's to have the shoulders down and to have stability in through the shoulder joint. And I'm going to demo that when I do the exercises. But sometimes people don't have the strength to maintain that stability and to keep the shoulder in a good position. And where does that strength come from? It comes from a number of different muscles. The serratus anterior, the rhomboids, the lower trapezius, the latissimus contributes a little bit, and one that most people don't think about, it's the triceps, specifically the long head of the triceps, which originates on the scapula. So it starts on the scapula, and then it goes down across the arm and inserts into the forearm bones to help you extend the elbow. But because of where it originates, its starting point, it has a role in helping to stabilize the scapula and in particular keeping it down. So having that muscle strong enough and integrated into a pattern that will help with the side planks and planks is what we want to do with our exercises. The first exercise we're starting with today is one of my favorite techniques to teach people who have shoulder issues, and that's the Slumpy Serratus Activator. And the reason why it's my favorite is because it is a great exercise for waking up the often sleepy and weak serratus anterior muscle. So this is how you do it. You start off in a bad slumpy position and slumpy posture, hence the name. And from here, you're going to stand up tall, pulling your chin in and reaching your hands back while internally rotating the shoulders. That's turning the backs of the hands towards each other and the palms out. Now, the most important movement is posterior tilt, and that's tucking the shoulder blades, the bottom edge of the shoulder blades here, in towards the body, sucking them in. You do that simultaneously with lifting the arms, the hands up away from the floor. So it's that fight between lifting the hands up away from the floor and posteriorly tilting the scapula, the shoulder blades, and then slowly trying to keep contraction of the shoulder muscles, the scapular muscles on as you bring your arms to your sides and your hands, your palms facing your thighs. So that's one rep. You're holding that for about 10 seconds. Again, that posterior tilt is the critical movement in this exercise. And the reason why it works so well with the Slumpy Serratus is because when you lift your arms behind you, this is shoulder extension, when you do that, naturally the shoulder blades want to anteriorly tilt, the opposite of what we want to do. So this helps us with that kinesthetic awareness by telling us, okay, we're going into this anterior tilt. We want to oppose that movement. I want to keep the shoulder blades tucked in that way. So let's do that. One more rep. Start off slumpy, poke that chin forward, round the spine, and then slowly straighten up as you lift your hands behind you and internally rotate the shoulders. Keep the elbows straight. Once you're up high, really focus on posteriorly tilting the shoulder blades. Suck those shoulder blades in towards the body. Keep the overall shoulders down away from your ears while standing up tall. And keep fighting to lift the hands higher up away from the floor as you're posteriorly tilting the shoulder blades. Make sure you're breathing. And then keep that tension through the muscles. Keep contracting as you return your hands to neutral position and then gradually relax and let everything go. So this exercise is designed to wake up and strengthen that serratus anterior muscle. And once that is strong, it's not going to happen right away. But what often happens is because this muscle is simply asleep, people have no awareness or ability to activate it. By activating it through this exercise, it provides enough strength in that muscle to be able to perform the planks with a stable shoulder position. But before you do that, we've got a couple more exercises to go through to get those other muscles online. The second exercise now is going to get all of these muscles working together that I talked about earlier in the closed chain position, which is when your hands, or in the case of the planks, when your forearms are fixed to the ground and your body is moving atop of that fixed anchor point. So the Slumpy Serratus, that was open chain movement, the limbs are free to move, whereas this technique, the arms are fixed and the body's moving around the arms. That's what defines a closed chain exercise. This exercise is called the chair shrugs, and it's gonna really work those scapular stabilizer muscles as well as the triceps, the long head of the triceps. So for this technique, you just need a stable stool or chair. Sit your butt on the edge of the chair and then bring your hands on the seat pan, and then try to keep good posture, not hyperextended through the spine, but just a nice natural good posture. And then slip your butt off the edge of the chair, and from there you're going to slowly lower yourself down, so let your butt fall to the floor, keep your elbows straight, and now the shoulders are hiked up into my ears. And from here I'm going to press up and keeping the shoulders pinched together. I'm going to press my body up as high away from the floor as possible and hold there for 5 seconds, keeping that posterior tilt and the scapular retractor muscles working, pinching the shoulder blades together. And then again, slowly lower down, keep the elbows straight the whole time, go as far as you can. And then slowly push yourself up away from the floor. At the top, you're holding and really squeezing the shoulder blades together and thinking of that posterior tilt motion. Breathe naturally. And that is the chair shrug technique. And you'll feel those scapular stabilizer muscles, and you'll really feel the triceps working on that one. So this technique, you're going to do 2 sets, 5 reps, holding for about 5 seconds, but I'll talk about reps and sets and how often to do once we're done the next exercise. The third exercise to help you with your shoulder pain when you're doing planks or side planks is the scapular push-up. And for this one, regardless of how strong you are, I want you to do it from your knees, because what we're not trying to do is develop strength so much. What we are trying to do is to develop your awareness and your control of your shoulder blade position and what that feels like, so that you can bring it into planks and side planks. So for this exercise, you start off in a push-up position, like you're doing from the knees. Hands are about shoulder width apart, or a little bit wider than shoulder width apart is fine. And make sure you're in good posture, so your head's not jutted to the floor. So from here, one key is keeping the elbows straight the whole time. Your elbows never bend, so really push away from the floor, straighten the elbows, and contract those tricep muscles, the backs of your arms right here. From here, keep the shoulders down the whole time. Don't let your shoulders come up to your ears. We want to keep our shoulders and shoulder blades down the whole time. Now from here, I'm going to let my body fall between my arms, keeping the elbows straight, keeping good posture, good neutral spine. And then I'm going to press away from the floor. And I like to do this extra slow. Again, keeping good posture, shoulders down away from the ears, and elbows straight. Those are the 3 cues. So once you get to the top, come back down nice and slow. Elbows straight, good posture, shoulders down. And then pressing up away from the floor, elbows straight, good posture, shoulders down. And you keep going, doing that for, you could do 6 to 8 repetitions. And if you find that you can't keep your shoulder blades or your shoulders down away from your ears, or you can't keep your elbows straight, or you start to get into bad posture, stop. If that's 1 rep, if that's 5 reps, it doesn't matter, you just stop there. That's called technical failure. We want to train in good form and good technique, but if you're doing a set just to get to the number, let's say you want 8, and the first 3 are good, but then you just keep pushing to get 8, but you train those other 5 reps in bad form, that's what you're going to reproduce in other movements. So technical failure is the key for this technique, and pretty much everything I teach, I mentioned that as well. So I'm going to demonstrate planks and side planks now, but before we get to that, a quick routine summary. For this routine, you're going to do these 3 exercises 3 times a week, starting off with the Slumpy Serratus, do 2 sets of 4 reps, holding for 10 seconds. Then we move to the chair shrugs, do 2 sets of 5 reps, holding for 5 seconds at the top, and finish off with the scap push-up, doing 2 sets, anywhere from 6 to 10 repetitions. Perform this routine 3 times a week, and I bet you'll be feeling good after 2 to 4 weeks. Now, technique for the planks and the side planks. Very simple. exactly what I was teaching you throughout. If you're doing a side plank, it's not having your shoulder up in your ear, so pulling the shoulder down, and then a little bit of tension through the shoulder blades, those rhomboids, and the lower trapezius on, lats are on, and the long head of the tricep is on to keep that shoulder nice and stable and in a good position. And from here, you're kind of pushing yourself away from the floor. You're not letting yourself sink into the floor, you're pushing yourself up and away from the floor. For the plank, it's the same thing. You're here, don't let your body just sink into the shoulders, that's where it's gonna hurt. My shoulders are up in my ears. I'm pushing away from the floor, keeping my shoulders away from my ears, and a little bit of tension between the shoulder blades. And this is a key point. You don't want to be pushed all the way up, so your shoulder blades are fully protracted, which means your shoulder blades are as far apart as possible. You want to stay in the middle, in the neutral position. So that's why the scap push-up is such a good exercise, because now you can find that position. You can go in and out, and then just come off the top a little bit, keeping the shoulders down, away from the ears, good posture, remembering to breathe when you're holding planks. And that's how you are going to be able to do planks without shoulder soreness, pain, or irritation. So it might take some time for those who don't have the strength in those supporting, stabilizing muscles, or if it's just a technical problem, you didn't know about how to position your shoulders when you're doing those exercises, then you might be able to pull this off right away and start planking pain-free. So there you have my answer on how to keep the shoulders pain-free when doing planks and side planks. Hope you liked that one. I've got a couple other videos that might be of interest for you here and here that are related to this. And like I said earlier, if you'd like to see more of these Ask Coach E episodes, I just did a video with 10 answers. Click that link right here. Sign up for the email newsletter. Trust me, I don't spam or email too often. So you will get those episodes in your inbox whenever they're released. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.